This is the start of a long bracha for the year 5775. As you know, in these types of things, we drop the 5,000. I will add this later on in a very appropriate manner. But we'll focus on the year 775. As you know, I feel that this is Olam Haba. We are in the promised land. We are in the promised times. We're in the resurrection of the dead. To me, life is perfect as it is. There is no tikkun olam. That's only from a manufactured point of view. The necessity that things have to change to be perfect. When one recognizes that the Ein Sof and the Sitra Achra are made up of the same ingredients, like they're made up of the same Roshei Tivo, just in opposite forms. When one recognizes the profound energy in the apparent evil, then one enters into this state of perfection. There is nothing to improve, there's only to enjoy. The bracha for this year is appropriate in that manner. As you know, there are supposedly 5 golus, exiles, gluts. The first exile, well, they're used on the 4 Hebrew letters. They start at the end. The first exile was the Babylonian exile. That's the final Hey. Then the Vav was the Persian exile. Then the Roman exile, the Hey. And then the Yud as the excuse me, I said it wrong. The Grecian exile was the Hey, and then the Yud is the Roman exile of Christianity. And miraculously, they have been said to be the 5th, which is the tip of the Yud, which is the exile of Ishmael, of Islam. And that's what we're in today. Only a fool wouldn't recognize that we're in the Islamic exile, that Islam is a fundamental force in our apparent problems and in the world right now. The sheer quantity of people and energy makes it obvious that we're in the Islamic exile. What does this have to do with the bracha for the year 775? Miraculously, this is my Hiddush, the word Yishmael, who, as the son of Abraham, is the source and foundation of the Ishmaelites, of Islam, the founder of Islam through Abraham. The spelling of his name, which in normative gematria comes out to be 451, but spelling in full, and now we're going to do the spelling in full. Yud, 20. Shin, 360. Mem, 80. Ayin, 130. Aleph, 111. Lamed, 74. This is the full spelling of Yishmael. Comes out to be 775. I'll do some other gematria later for the normative spelling of Ishmael at 451. But the most important hiddush here is that the full spelling of Yishmael, the full potential of Yishmael, comes out at 775. This is the year of Yishmael in relation to Judaism. And what does this mean? It means that it's obvious here that Yishmael is an antagonistic force in Judaism right now. And here is my proposition for the bracha, because as you know, I feel that this is Olam Haba. I feel no tikkun is necessary. I feel as it is perfection. I wouldn't change one thing. I don't believe that any change is necessary. There's a natural evolution, natural things, and whatever happens is for its perfection. There doesn't have to be a conscious action. We are only unfolding what Hashem wants anyway, underneath, in the essence of the Yehidah. Actually, in the sixth level of these type of things, there's a sixth level after the fifth, and that's the essence, the etzem of the Yehidah, of the Jewish person who works on this 775 year. So what I ask for is to understand that we are in the Golus of Yishmael, the tip of the Yud, the fifth Golus, the fifth exile. And I ask you to accept it. We will always be in Golus. How the world appears today is how perfection is. Do we have murder? Do we have killing? Do we have theft? Do we have lies? This juxtaposition of Ein Sof and Sitra Achra is what makes the world its perfection. We are in a total balance between two levels of up and down, of masculine and feminine. I ask you to see the world as Olam Haba, without any change necessary. A world of total pleasure. This can be approached because this is the year of Yishmael. So I tell you to totally accept Yishmael. This is a very difficult proposition, to totally accept what your problems apparently are. And that the only problem that you have is your resistance to recognize that this juxtaposition of energies is what makes perfection. There is always war. I tell you to accept war. I tell you to accept these terrorist acts. It's what they are. Acts of individuals. And they should be prosecuted as individual acts. I ask you to absorb murders. I ask you to absorb, and with no response, only with a sunny face. And this is the level of consciousness that can be approached in the year 775. Because that's the year of Yishmael, of the acceptance of the apparent evil. Now, this is very difficult, especially as I say this, there's just been a terrorist act in Israel. 5 people murdered in a synagogue. So here, I'm asking us to take this and accept it. Even higher would be no retaliation. In my opinion, people are being killed every day. Car accidents. People die every day. And there's a natural Gilgul, a natural revolution, evolution of the soul. We have perpetual life, if not necessarily your life. It's perpetual life. I ask you to accept whatever happens as fated. Why? Because you're in the stages of Olam Haba. What those stages are, I don't know. But we're in Olam Haba, in certain levels. And the way we get to the next level of Olam Haba is by the acceptance. Shalom. Shalem. Perfection is what this world is. In its juxtaposition, in the balance of left and right, of apparent good and evil, of light and darkness, change. And in this balance, in this shalom, the total acceptance, perfection. It's not peace as we know it. It's peace, like you know. But there's a balance of the energies that are profoundly within world and universe. And these profound energies sometimes apparently take lives. And I ask you to progress on as if nothing has happened. This is all part of my blessing for the year 775, because this is the year of Yishmael. This is the year of the understanding of the 5th Golus of Yishmael. In its relation to the 4th Golus of Christianity. And so as I progress, enough for the initial aspect, and I will be showing a lot more of this blessing for the year 775, 5,775.